Hey Paisanos, it is I, Mickey Saturn. Guess what, Paisanos? We're gonna talk about Super Mario World. Yeah, in Japan, I believe this game was called Super Mario 4. And I think there was even promotional art released in America that called it Super Mario 4. And, following the theme that I've been talking about, by this point, the movement of Mario, his physics and all of that, was pretty well established. But this game takes the concepts of Super Mario 3, which include adding flight to your movement repertoire and navigating a map. I would say those are the biggest innovations. It takes those ideas and it iterates on them and expands on them in the same way that Super Mario The Lost Levels elaborated, you might say, on the original Mario game. So, now, I'm going to start a new game. One player. Welcome to this. No, sorry, welcome. This is Dinosaur Land. I was about to say, welcome to this Dinosaur Land. Haha, yes, Jurassic Park. In this strange land, we find that Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Bowser is at it again. How many times can we say again? The stories of these games are totally irrelevant. I don't understand why people put such an emphasis on the storylines. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one. I always used to do this one first, even though it's technically the second level. I just didn't perceive that. There's a better way to do that. This is, well and truly, this is, not only my favorite Mario game, but this is probably the best 2D platformer ever made. After this, the series would really, to me, the series would continue with Mario 64. Now, I know that, technically, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island is considered a Mario game. Oops. Woo! But, I've always seen that as a little bit odd, because you don't control Mario. You know what I'm saying? So how can it be a Mario game? But speaking of Yoshi, Yoshi was introduced in this game, and I think you could make the case, if you wanted, that adds a certain specialness to the movement, or certainly it changes it some, the way you move, and Yoshi has special powers, too, that definitely change, movement, like if you eat a blue shell and then Yoshi can fly, and it's totally unlike the flying that Mario can do when you get Mario to fly. Oops. And Yoshi is, of course, one of the most enduring and famous characters of the Mario series, and I mean, when I was a kid, I'd heard of this game before I got it, I knew about it, I think I may have seen ads on TV, and all I had to hear was, you get to ride a dinosaur, and he eats things with his big long chameleon tongue. I am so freaking on board with that. I mean, especially as a kid, dinosaurs are so awesome. And I always really liked that you could go to Yoshi's house, and it's like just a little collection of trees, but you can go ahead and eat all the apples there. I like the little birds up there. Okay, so now we're going to go over here, technically Yoshi's Island 1. You may have noticed that there were some dotted lines, oh crud, in the other stage, dotted lines, and those indicate blocks that aren't there right now, and we want them to be there. So, I'm going to make that happen in this stage. there's a P block in this one. Of course, when I say there's another one, by the way, when I say in this stage, what I really mean is in the stage I get to by going to... Oh, shoot. Well, that isn't what I meant to do. That's okay. It's not really a stage. In this bonus area that I get to by going to this stage. No! I refuse to allow it. I can't believe I lost Yoshi Paisanos. That's crap. What a bunch of crap that is. When I was a kid, I mean, I guess what I should be talking about here is just sort of what we're doing right now. This is already a complexity, like an evolution in terms of complexity of what you were doing in Mario 3. You're traveling around with specific goals. You know, I have the goal of... Let's see. I'm always kind of not sure where the best place to punch this block is. Alright, that'll do. Anyway, you know, you're traveling around with specific goals. I gotta get those blocks to appear. You don't need to, actually. The yellow blocks don't have to appear. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand these ideas. I mean, this was innovative for the time that you did that. I mean, Mario 3 was innovative because most games were more like Mario 1. You just went level to level to level to level. It was all totally linear, you know, and they just escalated in difficulty. But this game, and Mario 3 before it, introduced this whole element of, like, strategy, you know, and so when I was a kid, I went to the right, because right is forward, right? And I went up to that tower, which is the first boss, and I never went and unlocked the yellow blocks for a long time. Like, I don't remember, sometime when I was in, like, World 3 or something, I went back and unlocked the yellow blocks. So, like, all of this, all those blocks there that I just saw right down there, those guys, they weren't there. That was a bottomless pit. That guy wasn't there. This here, all of that, bottomless pit. Whoa. Thank you. Of course, this game was actually one of the very first games released for the Super Nintendo. So another thing that I guess I should talk about is all of the cool Super Nintendo-y effects that are in this game. Like all of these things that are rotating and moving in a circle. You know, we saw in Mario 3 some moving platforms, and they moved in like a zigzaggy patterns and things like that. And in this game, the things move in circles and curvy patterns and S-waves, and sprites can be scaled and rotated, and this is a thing that you couldn't do before. In actuality, this game makes very sophisticated use of the Super NES hardware, but it does it in a way that's very subtle, and not as flashy as some games that would come later. And that causes it to be perhaps not always talked about. But look, see transparency right there. Pretty sure you can eat those. Yeah. we go. Now, this game is not harder than Super Mario 3. In fact, I would argue this game is easier than Super Mario 3. So in that sense, it does take a different direction than Super Mario The Lost Levels. But when I get to the Cape, I'll get there in a minute. I'll save what I was about to say for a minute. Look at this. You can hit the thing, go on these things, and knock the guys off the back like that. Oh, shoot. That's how you do that. And in one of the coolest touches, you can flip around and be on the other side. It's so cool. Not a whole lot of practical uses for that, though. It's just a cool thing you can do. And here we go to the first boss. That's so cool. Look at how much more sophisticated that was than Super Mario 3, and look at how the platform was able to rotate like that because of the sprite rotation that Super NES was capable of. Couldn't have done anything like that on the NES. The demented Iggy Koopa in Castle Number 1, and rescued Yoshi's friend who is still trapped in an egg. Together we will now travel to Donut Land. Paisanos, I want to travel to Donut Land. Won't you please take me to Donut Land? Please? Pretty please? Oh, that was a mistake. Actually, I wanted to bounce on that guy. This is the first level where you can get a cape. No! Well, that's okay, Paisanos, it lets me get a cape. I think. Yes, okay. Now, the raccoon tail let you tap A and it would slow to your descent. The cape slows your descent if you're just holding A, which is much easier to do. And the cape lets you fly, much like the raccoon tail. And then you do that. This totally new move where you can, like, bomb the ground. And I'm not very good at it, but you can use that cape. I mean, you can really fly with it. Like, you can get across the whole stage by being good at when you do things. Like, let's see if I can do it. It's all about doing that. but easier said than done. The whole thing is easier said than done. The cape is easy to use in a simple way, but very difficult to use in a sophisticated way. But people who master it can do incredible things. Getting through stages with real, very fast. And I've even seen people... well, whatever. Yeah, I've seen people do all kinds of crazy stuff by being really good with the cape. And the cool thing is, we know that wasn't like an accident. Because even though I didn't do it that time, these levels are actually filled with secret exits, and some of the secret exits are hard to get to, or even impossible to get to without mastery of the cape. So it's like they knew that you could do this great stuff with the cape, and they asked you to do it. If you really wanted to get everything. Ugh, shoot. There we go. The cape is the most sophisticated item ever in a Super Mario game. They've never come back to anything so powerful and advanced. And that's a shame, if you ask me. I wish that the cape, you know, and items like the cape, basically, had been returned to a little bit more. You can also do this. You could do this with the raccoon tail as well. So it was the wrong green pipe the whole time. But this helps you. And then this jump, it's a different button and it's a different type of jump. That helps you do certain things as well. It's just a very sophisticated moveset in this game, and very well balanced and just very well done. I don't know. You can tell, that's what I'm saying, like you can tell that they... See? See? One of the secret exits. There we go. Oops! Shucks. Nice. Secrets like that all over this game. I mean, it takes the whole idea. See, and there's the green switch to unlock. You saw all those dotted line green blocks, right? I didn't get the one up and I lost my cape. It's okay. Green switch. Bum 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 ba dum ba dum bum. Meow. So before I said all that stuff about the switches, what was I saying? I can't remember what I was in the middle of saying. Yeah, I know what I was going to say. They took that whole exploring the environment idea from the first couple games, and it was in the third game as well, and they really turned it up a notch, because finding all the secret exits and the secret paths, and they lead to secret levels, and there's a whole special world that you can get to only by finding all the secret exits and things like that. It's really amazing, and it adds a lot of replay value for expert players, and I don't know, there's just a whole lot of great stuff like that in this game. I don't like the forced scrolling levels, and I don't like them in any game. I've never liked that. That's a terrible design mechanic. What if a friend of mine pointed out that relative to other games at the time, being able to have the screen scroll in Mario, the original Mario, and having that be something you controlled, as opposed to being a game that scrolled on its own, was empowering to the player. It was like, the game doesn't just go forward, the game world, the whole world of the game, moves in accordance with your wishes, you might say, you know. Okay. And I think that's a really great point something I might not have thought of on my own. So I'm glad he pointed that out. Especially compared to what people were used to. It was like, who's controlling this world? I control it. It's like I control the whole world. It's almost as though Mario kind of stays in place, and the world is what's moving. There we go. You climb up walls, do you? Like Metroid. There we are. So after finding the secret exit and unlocking the green blocks, if I wanted, I could go back to Donut Plains 1, right here, and there's another secret exit that I can get to now that the green blocks are clear. But let's not do that. Let's proceed in the more conventional route. This is what a first-time player would be doing, generally. So, I can't remember if there were ghost houses in Super Mario 3, per se. I think there may have been. I can't recall for sure. But anyway, they're definitely in this game, and they're awesome. They're a total evolution of the game. Because there's like a puzzle mechanic. Fuck that up. What just happened? Nobody knows. It's a confusing game. No, yeah, it's ghost houses are like that. You go through these like false doors, secret pathways and things, and you don't, you don't always understand what's happening exactly. Oh, well, do I remember this level. Aw, shucks. Yep, that's that cape. A very sophisticated item. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with it. And go to cool levels and do cool things. I always thought it was a little weird that there's a level right here so close to the palace. Oh, get out of here. Let's see. Another thing you don't have are things like the Hammer Brothers on the world map that, you have to face or whatever, and you don't really have like toad houses or anything like that. So there are some things that they removed in this game, but on balance, it's still the better game. One of the cool things about Yoshi is if you keep getting him back, you'll be kind of invincible. There we are. Because you can take a damage and you won't lose your power-up. And then you can land back on Yoshi and take that damage again, and you never lose that power-up. And possibly that's why they don't let Yoshi into the castles. There's sort of almost like a recognition. Woo! I don't quite know what happened right there, but I'm glad it did happen. Almost like a recognition that he's a little overpowered. But that's why he was so cool as a kid, you know? It was like, yes, I'm on Yoshi, I'm unstoppable. This is a really, really good game. And even though I haven't mentioned it yet, enough can't be said about the beautiful graphics, the beautiful, colorful graphics, which to this day are just so good looking. They look so good. Oops. Oops. Okay, that's a little confusing. What was going on there is there's like an escalator. And it screws up your jumping. So see, I have to contend with the escalator. There we go. Hello, Thwomp. You're back again, I see. Oh, hello, fire thing popping out of the ground. Oh, hello, dry bones. Look at your big, black, empty, hollow eye sockets. Oh yes, this part. That's how you know. Can't go past that immovable block, can they? Alrighty then. Here we go. The boss through the big door. See how he kind of stretches and gets bigger? See how he rotates around the corner there? Rotates when he falls on you too. Super Nintendo stuff. I'm not sure technically if that's what you would call Mode 7. There we go. Mode 7 is a particular graphics mode you associate it with, like, F-Zero and stuff like that. I don't think this game is using Mode 7 to rotate the sprites. I think there were other graphics modes other than Mode 7. I mean, my assumption is there were 6, right? For Mode 7? But anyway, yeah, cool. First 2 worlds, all kinds of secrets I didn't bother showing you. You can pick this game up. Gosh, this game is one of the most widely re-released games ever. It's on everything, it seems like, except the DS, so I don't know what that's about. But you can get it on the Wii and the Wii U already. You can get it on, I think you can get it on the Wii U already, right? I think so. I can't remember. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be on the Wii U Virtual Console sooner or later, if not right now. And you can get it on the Game Boy Advance, you can get it on the original Super Nintendo. There's literally like 7 or 6 different legitimate versions before you even talk about things of questionable legality, which we won't mention by name here. As if it's some big secret. Anyway, yeah, you should totally play this game if you haven't played it, as you should play all the Mario games. And Paisanos, that leads us through the 4 main original Mario titles. But we are not done. We are still going to talk about American Mario 2, and we are going to talk about Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. So stay tuned for that. And, yeah. Alright, until next time, Paisanos.